for joining us. I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program at the El Paso Community College. And of course, this is Mature Living. And we have such wonderful things to talk to you about today. Black History Month is coming up in next month. And so we want to make sure that you know where to go and what it's all about. And so we've invited Jaime Chavez, who is a adjunct professor, speech professor at the college. He's in the committee with the Diversity Programs Committee for Black History. And so he's here to talk to us a little bit about some of those activities. Thank you for being with us.
Maria, my pleasure, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. It's a great time to talk about events, right?
Oh, yes.
All of us are making New Year's resolutions, but one of the things that I think we need to do in particular is to get to know our different cultures. That would be a good
Yes,
one
it is.
to learn.
By all means.
Yes.
And we have many great cultures here in El Paso.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your involvement with the committee and what you're planning for us through the community college.
This is my second year, Maria, as a member of the Black Heritage, the Black History Month committee at EPCC. And it's exciting. It's a lot of fun, the planning and meeting so many people and getting involved. And we're going to have a number of events throughout the month of February, which is Black History Month. And ourselves, the United States and Canada celebrate this month. We recognize February as Black History Month. And this is what we have planned to get us started here. On February 8th, we're going to have a Freedom Summer documentary with Museum of History. Freedom Summer referring back to the events that occurred in the South in Mississippi in 1964, which even though many tragic events occurred, ultimately the Civil Rights Bill was passed during the Lyndon Johnson administration in 1964. We're also having read-ins at some of the campuses. On February 10th, we're going to have a read-in at Northwest Campus at the Library Multipurpose Room. And what individuals do, students and faculty and staff, they read works from noted African-American authors and poets to the audience, and they get involved also with conversation to recognize Black History Month.
Wonderful.
And then coming up on February 15th, we're going to have performing arts, and we're hoping to have Nolan Richardson.
Oh, you've invited him, yes.
I want to say he's the pride and joy of Segundo Barrio,
Absolutely.
of South El Paso, but there are many individuals who have made an impact in El Paso from South El Paso. We're trying to get Nolan Richardson.
And I'm sure he's in great demand. So, you know,
definitely.
I don't know what his schedule is like, but hopefully with luck, you'll get him here.
We hope so. We love to have Nolan Richardson, coach.
So the other,
Nolan Richardson.
Yeah, coach,
right.
Absolutely. And the other two readings, when do they come?
We're having one on February 17th at Rio Grande, and that's in the library. And there's also an area where near the cafeteria where some readings will take place. This is from 11 to 1 p.m. And by the way, the one at Northwest is taking place from 11 to 1 in the afternoon.
Yes.
Another reading on February 26th at the Outside Theater at the Trans Mountain from 11 to 1.
Very good. And so you've got them throughout town, and,
yes,
and the students get involved, and that's what's so important.
Students, faculty, in recognition of Black History Month. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, also one of our big events, which was also huge last year, on February 22nd, is Jazz Night. And we're going to have noted jazz artists. Billy Towns is performed last year. He'll be back, and his band members, and people love the music. They really get into it. And the major events, including the Freedom Summer, Jazz Night, and also on February 29th, Memories Night. These events are taking place right here on at 9050 Viscount in the Administrative Services Center.
In the auditorium.
And usually for Jazz Night and some of these events, we pack it.
Oh, that is so great. Is there any charge for these events?
No charge. It takes place from 7 to 9.
Yes. They're all free? Oh my gosh.
Right, they're all free. The Freedom Documentary event on February 8th, and then the Performing Arts on February 15th. And Jazz Night on February 22nd, and Memories Night on February 29th. They all take place here, and they're free.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, if people want a little bit more information, where can they call? Is there an office, the
Yes,
diversity?
you can contact the diversity programs. They're located at the Valle Verde campus, and you can call Olga Chavez, Arturo Jaime, or Ida Black, and the numbers are 831-3322 or 831-3324.
Yes.
It's Olga Chavez. She's the director of diversity programs, and she sort of oversees everything that we do. And she's in charge, and really, really good guidance and leadership from her office, from Ida Black and Arturo Jaime. Again, those numbers are 831-3322 and 831-3324.
Super. One of the things that interests me is your involvement as a speech adjunct speech professor. You teach both at EPCC and UTEP. And your interest in Black history, because you've done a little bit of research as well. We're going to be coming back in a little bit to talk to you more in detail about Black history and when it started in America. And so tell me a little bit about that interest. Why did you get involved?
This has fascinated me. Black History Month, the civil rights movement has fascinated me since I was a child. And sad to say, growing up when I was a little boy watching images on TV of the ugly things that happened to African Americans in Birmingham, Alabama in 1963 with their turning the fire hoses on protesters. And then I remember watching Bloody Sunday in February of 1965 in Selma, Alabama, but that turned out to be a success 2 weeks later as the whole nation got involved, and it encouraged Lyndon Johnson to sign the Voting Rights Act later that summer.
Yeah.
But it's always been my involvement, the way, my interest, the way the African Americans have struggled to have true freedom and their rights as Americans here in the United States.
Yes, and there's many other cultures, well, the Hispanic heritage, which
Yeah.
you also get involved with, I'm sure,
Oh,
with
yes.
Hispanic Heritage Month in what month
That
is
runs from the last 2 weeks of September to the first 2 weeks of October.
That's right.
And the whole nation also
Yes.
recognizes Hispanic Heritage Month as they do Black History Month.
And it's important that our generation teaches the new generations,
Right.
younger generations, about the history we lived or saw on television as television was young.
I tell students that this is what I saw. I saw Martin Luther King preach, and this is what I saw on TV. This is what we experienced. This is what we lived with. But thank goodness in El Paso we got along with each other so well, and it wasn't that good in other parts of Texas or the South, but we appreciate what we have here.
One of the things I do want to mention is that we're going to have another roundtable discussion with Nancy Green and some special guests to talk about the migration of Black people in El Paso, coming to El Paso. That's going to be a very nice coming up in February through Mature Living. So thank you for being with us. It's been a delight. And
My pleasure.
Hey, listen, don't go away because
No.
we're coming right back to
Thank
talk
you so
about
much.
some of
I
the-
enjoy it.
Great. We'll be back. As promised, I've invited, of course, Jaime Chavez, who is an adjunct professor here at the El Paso Community College, and he also teaches at UTEP. He teaches speech. So you can imagine what those students go through with Jaime. He's high energy, and that's good because he's a committee member with Black History Month through the diversity programs here at the college. But now let's get to the meat of Black history. I'm going to ask Jaime a few questions, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot of good answers from his research. First of all, I guess we can talk a little bit about Black history. Why February? How was that selected, the month of February? Or was it a week or what?
Maria, a lot of people have asked that about, and I've even thought about that myself. Why is February Black History Month? Well, because two key individuals involved in the early influence of Black history, former President Abraham Lincoln and also Frederick Douglass, a very distinguished gentleman in American in the 1800s. And Mr. Douglass, he was a researcher, a scholar. He was also a very, very good speaker and a reformer. And he was the head of the abolitionist movement in the United States to abolish slavery. And because his birthday fell on February 14th,
Oh
and,
my
and
goodness.
Abraham Lincoln's birthday was on February 12th. And of course, President Lincoln, he abolished slavery, he helped strengthen the economy, and he preserved the Union. That was his idea in ending the Civil War, to preserve the Union. But these two gentlemen, born in February, and early influences in Black History Month,
Very
that
good
is why
reason.
we celebrate in February.
Super. What about, when did it get started actually? What was it, in the 1900s or the
Actually,
1920s?
it started out, the recognition, or leading up to Black History Month, it was called Negro History Week in 1926. Let me pull out my glasses. This
Okay,
is so
yeah.
intense.
After 40, we wear glasses.
Still am.
Spectacles.
Yeah. And it was called Black History Week, and the major influence, the gentleman who was responsible for this, is Carter Woodson, a very noted African-American scholar who was received his PhD at Harvard in the 1900s, and he came up with the idea that as Americans we need to recognize African-American Black history.
Yes.
So this came about in 1926, and he also came up with the Journal of Negro History, which is an early influence to those studying African-American history
Yes.
here in the United States.
Because there was an absence of history, Black Negro history in our history books,
Right.
as in other cultures. So he wrote these journals.
Carter Woodson, he wrote these journals, and communities throughout the United States would celebrate Black History Month or Negro History Week from the 1920s all the way to the 60s. And I say they, in many parts, especially in the South, they celebrated very quietly and low key, because back then segregation and institutional discrimination was the norm, and they couldn't come out and celebrate it. They had to celebrate in their own homes, in their own communities and churches.
Yes.
Until the civil rights movement started to gain strength in the late 50s and 60s. And then African Americans and blacks came out, and this is what we have, this is our pride, this is what we celebrate, and we want all of America to join us in this struggle.
Yes.
And thus.
It's so beautiful. So actually, Abraham Lincoln, significant. Mr. Douglas, we have a school,
Frederick
Douglas School. That's
Yes, that's
why
right.
we have.
That is right.
You see how we put things together, and now I know why it's Douglas School. Very significant.
And that was the school where only blacks attended here in El Paso, because even El Paso was legally segregated until 1954, the Supreme Court decision. After that, El Paso desegregated peacefully, and we saw many African American children
Moving
going to
into
school,
communities and
integrating
neighborhoods.
peacefully,
Yes.
and gently.
And I
Yes.
lived in the Pershing area,
Right.
5 Points, and there were families that
Yes.
had moved into that area.
There are still very strong African American communities along Wyoming, close to 5
Yes.
Points, and they have their church,
Where the McCall Center
the
is.
McCall
and-
Center. Yes,
Oh, it is so.
it's a historical significance here in El
Yes, it
Paso.
is. And that
Yeah.
was close to where I.
Yes.
Of course, I was started in Segundo Barrio, which Nolan Richardson was at Bowie High School, and
At Bowie.
and of course I was a little older than he, but definitely he's a wonderful role model for
Yes,
El
he
Paso.
is.
We're so proud
Yes,
of
he
him.
is.
And so there's so many things to read about and know about. Anything you want to share that maybe I haven't asked?
The first college university to celebrate Black History Month was in 1970 at Kent State. The Black Student Union celebrated, and tragically they celebrated before the shooting on campus where 4 students were shot by National Guardsmen in May of 1970. But the celebration still continued at various campuses. And then in 1976, President Ford, he started to recognize officially Black History Month here in the United States, along with the bicentennial. And then many communities, schools, not just African Americans, but many Americans of different ethnic backgrounds would celebrate, as they still do today, Black History Month. And also President Reagan, Ronald Reagan, in the late 1980s, towards the end of his administration, also continued the strengthening the recognition of Black History Month.
And I'm so glad that you're part of that committee of 20 people or so that plan our Black History Month activities, and UTEP is busy doing
Yes, it is.
things as
Yeah.
well. So if anybody is interested in the history, this is the month, February is the month coming up, is the month to really dig in to learn about our cultures and our beautiful America.
There's a lot of information you can find at the EPCC and UTEP libraries, and we'll see a lot of information coming in late January and into early February about Black History Month.
Yes.
And we'd be glad to share it with you.
Very
Yes,
good.
uh-huh.
Well, we've been talking with Jaime Chavez, who is an adjunct professor with the community college and UTEP. And thank you for being such a great professor and getting our students involved and interested in our community especially.
Maria, it's a pleasure.
Thank you.
I enjoyed being here.
Yes,
It's fun.
it is.
happened so quick, it's fun, but hopefully I'll be back.
Absolutely. Think of some other things you can share with us about speech and how we can improve ourselves. How's that?
You're doing a good job.
Thank you. Okay, we'll be back with more guests about some programs at the El Paso Community College. Well, thank you for staying with us. Of course, this is Mature Living, and we always like to promote our programs and, inform our community, all you viewers out there that are making your New Year's resolutions and saying, this year I'm going to do something for myself. And so we wanted to invite Tammy Taggart, who is one of the 2 instructors over at the massage therapy program. It's a continuing education program, and they have processed thousands of students that are now working in the community and in different parts of the country, I'm sure. And they certify them as massage therapists, and they have another new program, the hydrotherapy. So she's going to tell us all about it, the requirements, and if you have grandchildren, children, that want to get a career, this might be a good one. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
That was quite an introduction, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Now you get to tell us all
about the
important
program.
Tell me
Well,
about
it is a certification program, but it does prepare you to become a licensed massage therapist, which is what the state of Texas does require. So we've included 25 hours of an additional internship in hydrotherapy. That's the hydrotherapy you were talking about.
Okay.
But the state requires 500 hours. And so it covers a wide variety of subjects. There's the fundamentals 1 and 2, which we cover basic Swedish massage, and then go into some of the advanced work, such as sports massage, pregnancy massage, chair massage, some advanced techniques that could be labeled a little more of the medical massage, reflexology, and hot stone massage.
Wow.
So that's what's covered in the bodywork portion of our course, but it also includes health and hygiene, hydrotherapy, which is going to be incorporated in the internship as well,
Yes.
as well as kinesiology, anatomy and physiology, and pathology. So it totally prepares a student to take what is called the NBLEX exam, which is what the state of Texas requires to become licensed. We have had multiple students, good pass rates, and so many of them work here locally in town, as well as in several neighboring cities within the state of Texas. It's a wonderful program. We actually have 3 instructors, myself and 2 others. That one teaches weekend. Weekend course is actually Monday and Wednesday evenings, and Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 2. This class takes about 9.5 to 10 months to get through.
Okay.
The weekday class is a Monday through Friday class, all day Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, from 9 to 2 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And it takes about 6 months, start to finish. You can take the licensing exam right away, and in a very short period of time, be a licensed therapist.
That
So
is so
it's
great.
yes.
And just like other programs, cosmetology and nail techs, there's an internship part at the end, near the end of
Right.
graduation or before they take their big exams.
It's the last leg of the journey.
Yes. Tell me about that.
Yes, it runs through early February. This is going to be the day class internship. So there's a lot of availability during the day. We still have available appointments. We offer massage therapy. we offer chair massage. You can get a therapeutic massage, a lighter massage, or you can get more of a sports, which is a deep tissue massage, for $25.
Oh, so
The
reasonable.
full body massages are $25. And then
How long is the full body as far as time?
it's an hour.
An hour, yeah.
An hour. And so it's $25 for that. We do offer chair massage for $15. And then the hydrotherapy internship, like I said, this is only the third one. We
Okay.
offer these Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturday, and Sunday. The massage is 7 days a week.
Yes.
But these ones are Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. You have your choice of a sauna, a bath where you have aromatherapy, oils, as well as like an Epsom salts, and we have a jetted tubs over there, which enhances certainly the therapeutic effect, as well as scrubs.
Wow.
You are required to bring a bathing suit. We provide the towels.
That's for the hydrotherapy.
This is the hydrotherapy. The massage, you just bring yourself.
Yes.
We have everything else there. And it's a nice way for people to experience the wonderful state-of-the-art facilities we have here at the Building B here at ASC.
Yes. Administrative Service Center on Viscount.
On
9050
Viscount, 9050 Viscount. And it's just, we are so happy to be able to offer this to the community. It's therapeutic, it's relaxing, has a lot of benefits for the individual.
It's a nice gift also because you can buy a certificate or.
Well, you know what?
How does that work?
It's
Like
better.
for seniors, you know?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't offer too many gift certificates. Now, if it's during an internship, we have an internship 3 times a year. If you are on our mailing list, you will receive a postcard that tells you when to start calling. We fill up very, very quickly. So if you want to schedule an appointment, purchase a gift certificate for that specific appointment, you can do that. But just to offer a gift card, because we can't guarantee that people are going to be able to
But
schedule.
someone could have a grandma or grandpa that wants to come through the
Exactly.
massage. They can pay for their.
They can pay for
They
them
can pay at the cashier, and then grandma goes right in
Exactly.
and gets her gift.
and gets her gift.
And that is
Absolutely.
that beautiful massage, that 1 hour,
Or whatever,
they
yes,
choose.
whatever they choose. And you can come back as many times as you want. So when you call in, it's best to schedule multiple appointments because the next time you call, you may or may not be able to get an appointment because we do.
So early in
fill up.
January, the appointment starts. Early in January.
We usually start scheduling about 4 weeks before the internship. But like I said, we do have some availability still left, especially for hydrotherapy. This is something new, and not all the individuals in the community realize that we have these services we offer.
And you've been there with the program about 10 years.
Yes.
So you're very
yes.
familiar with the customers, the returning ones, and of course you're always
Yes.
looking for new.
Al-
Who are you
always looking
inviting
for
today?
new, but enjoying the ones that have been faithful to our program and have come in and continued to get the therapeutic value of
How
our
many students
internship.
go through the program each? 3
Probably
times
within a year, we have 2 day classes, and usually we have anywhere from 10 to 14 students. The weekend class, the same. So we've got 30 to 45 students, maybe sometimes even 50 that go through our program a year.
Well, I know this is one of the most popular and effective, and students get placed. They
Right.
find jobs, and of course they help their families as well. Because they're certified, so they
And the license. Ultimately,
licensed.
in the state of Texas, to practice massage,
you must be.
you
licensed.
must be licensed.
Well, you're doing a great job, Tammy.
Well, thank
Doing a
you.
great job with our students and with our customers and with our seniors. We encourage all of you to do something for yourself, and this would be a very nice thing to gift yourself or have someone gift it for you. Tammy Taggart, our instructor for the massage therapy program. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, and great success to everyone, and we'll see you all next week.